each side, left and right, they love to fearmonger. What is fearmongering? Fearmongering is basically attacking people's fear to like kind of heighten their sensitivity around something, to drive them to feel a way about something based on fear, not based in facts, right? So, in doing that, they're looking to cause people to panic, right? To freak out, to overreact. And it's not based on anything factual. It's simply based on them telling you what they think they know without doing their due diligence. And why that bothers me so is because a lot of times if we read things and we pick it apart, you'll be like, oh, wait, that's what they wanted me to freak out about. That's what they wanted me to be upset about and up in arms about. I'm actually really confused. So I wanted to do my due diligence. Now, like I said, this document, this big beautiful bill is 100. When I pulled it up, it was 170 pages. Absolutely not. I'm not printing out 870 pages. So what I did was I went through and I printed out. I don't have everything in front of me. To be quite honest, these are just the sections I've gotten through so far. But I did go through, so there will be a follow-up to this, but I did go through and print out the sections that seem to be talked about the most, right? Medicaid, SNAP benefits, what else did we, taxes and all these different things, right? So I printed out those sections and I said, I'm going to go through and I'm going to read this and I'm going to find what was changed, what was added, what was deleted, what was modified, what was enhanced, what was extended. Yep, those are all the words in the bill. I wanted to go out and do my due diligence and report back to y'all, because what I'm never going to do is sit down and start doing the same thing that I see other people doing, fear mongering. Trump passed this bill. Our lives are over. We need to leave this country. That is it. This is death. We're back to slavery. I'm never going to sit down and do that. I'm never going to sit down and do that, simply because that is dangerous. That is dangerous rhetoric to get in front of people and tell them that their lives are over, their lives are done. This is the end. The end of the world is near, and all these different things. I'm not doing that. What I will do though is do the work and find out the facts. So let's get into the facts, okay? First up, I started with the modifications to SNAP work requirements for able-bodied adults right out the bat, okay? So what they did do is they increased the age. So to qualify for this, they increased the age from 50, no, so it was 50 and they increased it to 65 years. They also added that, if you have a dependent child, they need to be under the age of 14. So over 14, if you're looking for SNAP benefits, that won't be a qualifier, okay? And I think they did that because in a lot of places, those kids can potentially find work. And that would just be my rationale and my understanding. So that was the first one. Under the waiver section, they changed the language to limit those who can be waived. Now, in this section, they basically added 2 paragraphs about Indian or urban Indian and California Indian being included as well. They also changed language to say that, you can have the SNAP benefits waived if you're in a non-contiguous state and have unemployment rate that is or at above 1.5 times the national unemployment rate. In a non-contiguous state, again, I had to go out. What does this mean? Told you guys I'm going to be looking up definitions. I'm not going to lie. Didn't know what non-contiguous state meant. It basically means you're a state that your borders don't touch any other state, Alaska and Hawaii. So that's literally just referring to Alaska, Hawaii. And that's it. Everything else quite literally stayed the same. So this came from the Section 6.0 of the Food and Nutrition Act of 2008. And Quite literally, those are the only changes, okay? You can see here, I highlighted, I hope you can see, I highlighted, I underlined where things were changed, okay? I'm not here to bullshit y'all, okay? That was it, because